Imagine owning a 220,000-ton floating city. Every single morning, you wake up in a completely different country. You are the absolute king of the ocean. You control 30 different restaurants, a massive lawless casino, water parks, theaters, and an army of thousands of crew members working just for you. There are no property taxes, no permanent address, and you can literally steer your house away from bad weather. It sounds like the ultimate billionaire dream, right? Forget super yachts. Owning an actual cruise ship is the biggest flex on the planet. But behind the luxury buffets and the top deck water slides lies a ruthless, chaotic, and downright terrifying business. It's an industry where one bad week can lose you $50 million, where the government can secretly raid your ship, and where you are legally operating in a gray zone outside of US law. So, how much does one of these monsters actually cost? How do they make insane amounts of cash? What are the dark hidden secrets the captain never wants you to find out? And most importantly, how can a normal person actually buy one? Buckle up, because we are diving straight into the madness. If you want to buy a brand new mega ship like Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, you aren't just looking at a high price tag. You are looking at a number that will make your brain melt. $2 billion. That is more than the entire net worth of some world leaders. To put that in perspective, if you break down the construction costs, you are paying roughly $800,000 for every single bedroom on the ship. A tiny interior cabin with no windows costs the same as a massive luxury mansion in Texas. Why is it so insanely expensive? Because you aren't just building a boat, you are building a high-end luxury resort, a massive electrical power plant, a top-tier waste management facility, a water desalination plant, and an amusement park, all engineered to balance perfectly on top of unpredictable ocean waves. But let's say you don't have $2 billion lying around under your mattress. What are your other options? You could go smaller. A mid-sized luxury ship that carries a few hundred people will only set you back about $400 million. But here's the catch. Because it holds fewer people, your cost per passenger skyrockets. It's a terrible business model if you want to make your money back fast. So what about the bargain bin? Welcome to the used cruise ship market. Just like used cars, old cruise ships get sold off when the major lines are done with them. If you look online right now, you can find a decommissioned 30-year-old cruise ship for about $30 to $50 million. Sounds like a steal, right? You get a whole ship for the price of a Hollywood celebrity's mega yacht. But hold your breath, because buying the ship is the easy part. Keeping it afloat is where the nightmare begins. How do these giant floating cash extractors ever make a profit? The answer is simple. They trap you. The cruise industry runs on a high-stakes financial strategy. The moment a ship pulls away from the dock, the expenses are locked in. The thousands of gallons of heavy fuel oil, the port fees, the insurance, and the salaries for a 2,000-person crew cost the exact same whether the ship is empty or packed to the brim. Because of this, cruise lines do something totally insane. They routinely fill their ships to 110% capacity. How is that mathematically possible? They heavily discount the tickets for the third and fourth people sleeping in the pull-out couches of a single cabin. They will do anything to get bodies on that ship. In fact, here's the biggest secret of the entire cruise industry. They don't care about the ticket price. Sometimes they sell the actual rooms at a massive financial loss. They'll practically let you on the ship for free. Why? Because once you step foot on that deck, you're a captive audience. You're trapped in the middle of the ocean, and the cruise line controls the entire economy. Want to eat something other than the basic buffet? That's an extra $50 for specialty dining. Want to check your emails? That's $30 a day for incredibly slow satellite internet. Want a cocktail by the pool? They'll charge you a 300% markup on every single drink unless you buy a $600 beverage package. But the ultimate gold mine is the onboard casino. The moment a cruise ship hits international waters, exactly 12 miles away from the US coast, the rules change. State gambling laws completely vanish. The cruise line can set the slot machines to be as ruthless as they want, extracting millions of dollars from tourists who are in a relaxed vacation mindset. It is a license to print money. But running a floating casino isn't all sunshine and printed cash. There are hidden, terrifying problems that cruise lines spend millions of dollars trying to keep out of the headlines. First up, the United States Public Health unannounced raids. If your ship operates out of an American port, health inspectors can show up completely unannounced the second you dock. When the inspector's onboard alarm goes off, the entire ship descends into absolute chaos. Crew members frantically scrub every surface, hide out-of-date food, and go into a state of pure panic. If your ship fails this inspection, the government will literally ground your billion-dollar vessel, cancel your next cruise, and force you to pay out millions in refunds while your reputation gets completely destroyed on the news. Then there's the food logistics nightmare. Passengers expect a 24-hour, all-you-can-eat paradise, but if you're on a 2-week ocean crossing, fresh food doesn't last. By day 10, the fresh strawberries, crisp lettuce, and avocados are completely gone. The ship enters survival mode, secretly relying entirely on frozen foods, canned goods, and root vegetables disguised as gourmet meals. But the darkest secret of all is located on the lowest decks of the ship, completely hidden from the passengers. Every single mega cruise ship has a built-in morgue. When you pack 7,000 people onto a ship, many of whom are elderly retirees, emergencies happen. People pass away at sea all the time. To prevent mass panic, the crew uses highly classified code words on the PA system to alert medical teams without the guests ever realizing what's happening. Your floating paradise is secretly carrying a massive liability insurance policy just to handle the sheer volume of medical disasters that happen on the open ocean. So, knowing all of this, could you actually buy and live on one? If you have a couple $100 million, yes, you can hire a maritime management firm, buy a second-hand ship, and pay them to handle the crew and operations. But it's a financial suicide mission for an individual. So how do the smartest people do it? They use the ultimate loopholes. Instead of buying the whole ship, ultra-wealthy people buy permanent luxury apartments on specialized residential cruise ships like the World. These are literal floating luxury condos that travel the globe 365 days a year. To buy a basic studio apartment on the World, it'll cost you around $1 million, plus an insane monthly maintenance fee just to cover the ship's fuel and crew. And you have to prove you have a net worth of at least $5 million just to be allowed to buy one. But what if you want to live the cruise ship owner lifestyle for free without spending a single dollar of your own money? Meet Mario Salvato, famously known as Super Mario. This guy figured out the ultimate life hack. Instead of buying a ship, dealing with health inspectors, or paying a crew, he spent the last 20 years straight living full-time on standard Royal Caribbean ships. By booking cheap interior staterooms back-to-back, using loyalty points, and letting the cruise line handle the cooking, cleaning, and navigation, he lives like a king of the ocean for a fraction of the cost of a luxury apartment in New York. Ultimately, owning a cruise ship is a beautiful dream, but a brutal business. It takes $1 billion to play the game, and a single bad storm to ruin your life. For most of us, just buying a normal ticket or pulling a Super Mario is the much smarter play. But maybe controlling the ocean isn't big enough for you. What if you wanted to control the skies instead and own the actual infrastructure that makes global travel possible? Have you ever wondered what it takes to buy a fully functioning airport? To see exactly how you can buy your own airport, click the video on screen.